Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface in the first of two videos for your viewing pleasure today. The second one, my god, that's going to be a juicy Lucy if ever I've squeezed one. But first of all, again, something rather important that we need to go into, because Bioware seems to be in a mitigated crisis at the moment. It's so all over the place, disorganized, headless chicken of a company, and it isn't just in recent times. This looks like this has been in place for, I don't know, can we say maybe 6-7 years now? From what we can go back at, with what we know about Anthem and obviously the complete debacle with Mass Effect Andromeda, etc., etc. And this week has been another insanely bad week because lead producer Fernando Melo on Dragon Age 4, which they're currently working on, project name Morrison, or Morrison's, that's where I do some shopping, has left the company after 12 years. Now you could say, well, it's 12 years, he's going on to other things. In the same week that the lead producer of Anthem, Ben Irving, also quit the company as well. It looks like these, I mean, the next statement from me is just pure speculation, but to me it looks like these guys have had enough. Enough is enough. They want to go off and work at a company that maybe knows what the hell they're doing, where the hell they're going. But it's very telling that in a single week, somebody that's been there for 8 years, Ben Irving, somebody that's been here for 12 years, and more importantly, and I would say Fernando Melo is far more important than Ben Irving, to be perfectly honest with you. This guy was a senior producer on Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. And I've gone on the record many times as saying, but I'll reiterate it because I'm getting a lot of new people all the time, but Dragon Age Origins to me is one of the greatest games ever. Never mind one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's one of the greatest games ever. I really should do my personal top 10 video game video. My second channel's, it's wiped. I've cleared everything. I just need to rebrand it and get some nice graphics up there. I'm looking for somebody to do some nice, graphics for me. And my second channel will be ready to go, which will be kind of dealing with all this stuff, comics and da-da-da-da-da. But Dragon Age Origin was just incredible. How certain games change, your perception of genres, like Morrowind changed my perception of what an RPG could be. And I would say Dragon Age Origins is right up there. Came out 2009. But Dragon Age Origins, to me, changed my perception on just obscenely incredible storytelling. You had this unbelievable story which just unraveled with incredible characters. No, I'm sure plenty of you go, hey, wait a minute, Az. There were great RPGs with some amazing storytelling way before that. No, absolutely. But I think the level of quality and intricacy that went into the story of Dragon Age Origins was just something that we hadn't seen. It was like watching Game of Thrones, sort of esque. But in video game format, it was all the political intrigue, all the things in the background where you still had the Darkspawn threat and the the bonding of characters, for instance, with Duncan, etc., and how things could just so easily change on a dime, characters getting killed off. The way that you interacted and responded could completely change the way that somebody responded back to you. To me, it was just absolutely out there. Dragon Age 2 didn't come close to me. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was middle of the road. But it was very difficult when you had such a high standard with Dragon Age Origins. So when you lose somebody who has been part of that, and they have lost so many people that have been involved with like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age series that, you know, this isn't the Bioware that we knew from those days. This isn't the Bioware that created those absolute classics, you know, your Mass Effects, Mass Effect 2, etc., etc. Well, the first Mass Effect trilogy. I still think Mass Effect 3 is unbelievably great. It's just the ending that, you know, 15-minute ending that let it down. That was all. So to lose somebody of that caliber is colossal for the company. And then you just have to, again, look at the debacle that was Mass Effect Andromeda. Just look what went on there with BioWare Montreal. This just ridiculously put together game from top to bottom with people who couldn't handle the responsibility and people who had no experience in what they were doing. What was the result? An absolute disaster. A disaster of a game in regards to characters, story, animations, the whole job lot. It was just a complete and utter disaster. And not what we expect from BioWare. BioWare were one of those companies that were right up there at the apex. We'll get on to Apex Legends in the second video. Holy, things are kicking off. But they were one of those, you know, major companies that are right at the pinnacle. And now they're a laughingstock. A laughingstock with Mass Effect Andromeda and then the complete farce that is Anthem. And people just leaving. So, Fernando says, let's just go into his tweety-weety. Today was my last day at BioWare after 12 years. That's a heck of a lot of feels. Tonight, I got to write my name up at our local pub alongside many other amazing peers over the years. And it reminded me of a lot of folks no longer here that I dearly miss. That in itself, to me, is really telling. Now, obviously, Fernando is going to be very emotional about leaving a company after 12 years. Regardless of the current situation, that's a lot of investment for anybody. You know, I put 12 years into the World of Warcraft. But it's very telling that his first thoughts are of people who have gone. People who have gone, people who have left, people who he is missing. There's really no easy way to sum up all the fantastic experiences and friendships across our studios, our partners, and in our community that I've been so fortunate to have been a part of over these years. Here's my parting email to the studio, since it goes out to all those I've had the pleasure to work with before, and it helped make it a fun and unforgettable ride, but couldn't get that email. So he's put it here. Just feel free to pause the video right now so you can go through the email itself. To be clear, this is my own decision. I absolutely believe that, Fernando. Ben Irving, I'm not, you know, I'm sort of like 80-20. Ben made his decision as well. But there is just a slight little bit of doubt with Ben as regards to maybe he was potentially pushed out, or at least, you know, nudged out. But with Fernando, I absolutely 100% believe that this is fully his own decision. I've been wanting to take some time to disconnect and explore a couple of ideas for next chapter in my career. So what's next? Well, watch this space. You know, maybe he's gonna start linking together with his lost comrades who have gone. Now, one thing that he does say in the email that I do want to refer to, because I don't believe he means this, and I don't mean it in I'm calling you out, Fernando, sort of a way. I just think it's sort of more platitudes, more kind of, you know, keep up there, folks. But he says, with a great leadership team in place, a fantastic creative team, and some of the best devs in the world, Morrison, which is Dragon Age 4, is well underway to becoming the definitive Dragon Age experience, and I'm incredibly proud and honoured to have played a part in that. I'll be eagerly awaiting the opportunity to experience the next Dragon Age as a fan this time around. This is the first time that I'm seriously concerned for a Dragon Age. I truly am. And it's because of accumulation of things. Obviously, the Anthem debacle and obviously the Mass Effect Andromeda debacle. There was also news that came out that it was going to have some sort of live service attachment to it. And that in itself just kind of made me think, oh, Christ. Now, feel free to disagree with me here, folks. I'm not going to take too much more of your time on this video, but feel free to disagree with me here. But didn't video games 10 years ago, didn't developers and the relationship between the customer and developer just seem so much simpler? They made a game. They weren't concerned with microtransactions, monetization, live services. Let's keep this game alive for 5 years. We need to funnel 5 years worth of content to just let this corpse rot in front of our faces as we lose goodwill and customers because we're just trying to milk it. When developers aren't... I mean, Fernando, I think he went into Mass Effect Andromeda for a while to work on the online section of it. I can't even remember what an online section of Mass Effect Andromeda was, but I don't know. But when even the dawn of online play becoming so prevalent, sometimes it just doesn't match with the genre. If you're making an MMORPG, that's a very specific genre and very specifically different to an RPG. Just an RPG. Because an RPG is a heavy, narrative-driven story where your characters, develop and bloom. Whereas an MMORPG has all the interactions of, designed specifically for all the interactions with other people in the world. And sometimes, you've just got to do what even The Witcher did 5-6 years ago, Witcher 3, which was just put out the game. What God of War did last year, just put out the game. Don't have any microtransaction shite. Don't have any of that crap. And don't have any of that live service gubbins. You just got a story and you want to tell it. And The Witcher, of course, had a couple of great DLCs, but they were story-based DLCs. There wasn't any microtransactions. There wasn't any visit our store to get yourself a Geralt Sharpie to write on the walls in the game. Whatever it may be. Just a simpler time. And with all these you got to monetize this. You got to put it online here. You got to keep it going for this amount of years. It just feels like the development cycle is so confused and turned on its head and fucked up that there are very few companies now who are just willing to say, do you know what? We just have a story to tell, and this is the story we want. And that's what I want with Dragon Age 4. Let's go to the Tevinter Empire, Let's go there. And then just tell the story. Maybe have a DLC for additional story. But fuck all the other crap. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm actually very concerned for Bioware because I don't see any light at the end of this tunnel. I don't see how they're getting out of this hole. I don't see the creative spark there anymore, and I don't see the fight, to be perfectly honest with you. And I don't know if this is a matter of Bioware are defeated, or whether or not it's just the oppressive foot of EA on the head of this company. I don't know what it is, but Bioware to me seems like a company that's gone, that's already tapped out. But for some reason, the rest letting the match go on, and I don't know why. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. The second video is tasty, so prepare for that in 2 or 3 hours time. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.